Hey, what's going on, guys? Crass Businessman here. Today I'd like to pick up where I left off in a previous video where I compared life skills to stats in a video game. So here's a brief recap. All the skills that you have are like stats for a video game character. But instead of like a magic meter or HP, you have things like discipline, maturity, and people skills. Basically any of your life skills. And success can only be achieved when each and every one of these stats are at a certain baseline level. Because if they aren't, then they're always going to be a bottleneck right at that juncture. So go ahead and check out that video for more info. I'll put it in the description. First of all, happy Thanksgiving. Today's topic is going to be attendance and punctuality. So while in most instances I tend to disagree or at least offer an upgraded version of conventional sayings, but the age-old showing up is half the battle, it actually holds true. So I'd like to explain the logical perspective from several different angles. Half the battle sounds a little bit misleading. It's really more of a precursor and kind of a requirement. Because if you aren't where you need to be, how can you expect to apply any skills no matter how well refined they are? So for example, let's say you're really good at cooking. You're like Gordon Ramsay caliber. Well, if you aren't at the restaurant or the kitchen, well, how the fuck can you showcase your talent? You can't. If you're the best bricklayer on the planet and you don't show up for work, nobody's going to give a shit. Considering that punctuality has such close-knitted relationship with your reputation, it can be extremely detrimental to be late or to not show up. Not to mention, if it's your first encounter, people will immediately form the opinion that you're the late guy. Years after having an immaculate attendance record, some will still label you the late guy. Or even worse, the excuse guy. So keeping in mind the fickle nature of other people's judgments, it only benefits you to show up and to show up on time. Not to mention the fact that this incredibly small discipline can put you head and shoulders above everyone else by being labeled the reliable guy. That's the reputation that you want. Now, from the other non-selfish end, the company in which you're working for suffers as well. Assuming that you actually do your work, you're a necessary asset. If your work doesn't get done, someone else needs to pick up the slack. So in turn, your coworkers can suffer. One hard lesson that I had to learn in the construction industry is that the workday starts at 7 at the absolute latest. I had an employee that was struggling with some issues at home, and I thought I could ease the situation by adjusting the workday. So instead of coming in early as dick, I thought, maybe it'd be better to show up around 9 a.m., leave at 5 or 6, contributing the same amount of hours. Oh man, the customers thought we were the laziest sacks of shit that ever walked the planet. Even though we were in total communication, did immaculate work, the unspoken implication is that construction starts no later than 7, no matter what. And sometimes it's just not best to fight those certain presuppositions. So position yourself as the reliable guy to open up a pathway to a better work environment all around. This often overlooked key stat will be one of tremendous value as long as you stay consistent. And this will inevitably result in better success in every endeavor, as everything you do requires you to be somewhere. So you mastered this, and let's just keep improving. Once again, I'm Crass Businessman. Sorry for the choppiness of the video. I'm still working on it, guys.